Coming up next, I'll ask you if you can answer two very important career questions. And then convicted felons are finding more job opportunities. Work fail on this Friday. And of course, your calls. And it starts right now. All right, welcome to the Ken Coleman Show. So thrilled to have you with us as we have a conversation about you, specifically what you were born to do. You were created to fill a unique role in this world through your work. That means you are incredibly valuable. You're needed. But it also means you must do it because there's somebody on the other end of your work. This is not about a paycheck alone. Yeah, I'm all for the paycheck and I want to help you make a fatter paycheck. Come on. All right. But I also want you to experience tremendous meaning. I want you to make that unique impact that the world needs from you while you're making that really awesome income. So that's what we talk about. It matters to everybody listening to me, no matter your politics, your faith, your geographic location, or anything else you want to throw in the bucket. You matter deeply. So welcome aboard. It is a caller-driven show, 844-747-2577. That's a toll-free number, and I am your counselor, your coach, and your cheerleader, all in one phone call. We'll change your name and your location if you have a very sensitive, toxic, dangerous maybe situation, and you feel like I can't tell you who I am and that's keeping me from calling. Well, don't let that keep you. We're here to help you. We can help you. You must be who you were born to be. So let's start off today by helping you answer two big questions that come up as people are thinking about their career and their direction and their purpose. And they've got these general ideas. Maybe they have a really clear idea. They know the mountaintop. And I have found now approaching 5,000 phone calls on this show over the last 4.5 years that there are two that really stick out. And I think they're the two core questions. And I want to help you answer them today. But you got to first know what to ask before you can answer them. So here they are. Very simple. The first one is, do I have what it takes? I mean, this is the question that every woman and man on the planet asks. I mean, in this way, we still are little boys and little girls. Do I have what it takes? Do you notice me? Do I matter? So we ask those questions. Do you notice me? Do I matter? Do I have value when we're little kids? Nobody has to teach us that. But as we become adults, we begin to get into jobs and professions, and we say, do I have what it takes to do what it is I want to do? It is a fundamental question that very many people ask. In fact, most. Sadly, very few really ever dive into it beyond the first voice that pops up when you ask that question. Do I have what it takes? If somebody berated you, humiliated you early on in life, maybe that's the voice that speaks up and says, no, you don't. If you grew up in a negative house and everything was negative, there was no value assigned to people on a regular basis, that's the voice that pops up when you ask, do I have what it takes? The answer is, yeah, you do have what it takes. As a human being, you have the ability to develop skill. You have the ability to develop determination. You have the ability to grow your patience. You do have what it takes. But more specifically, let's look at getting clear. Stage 1 of my 7 stages that we teach here on the program. Get clear. Do I have what it takes? I've got this desire to do this. So then ask yourself, do I have the talent, raw talent? I can develop and hone skill out of talent, but do I have the talent to do it? If the answer is yes, then you have what it takes. Then you say, do I love this kind of work? Do I look forward to this work? Do I lose sense of time? Do I experience joy when I think and do this work? If the answer is yes, you have what it takes. Does this work, this destination that you desire, does it come as a result of producing results that matter deeply to you, that connect to your values? If the answer is yes, you have what it takes. Do I have what it takes? Look at your talent. Look at your passion. Look at your mission. Talent's what you do best. Passion's work you love. Mission, results that matter. If you are ding, ding, ding on all three of those, you have what it takes. I promise. I don't care what anybody said to you. Watch this. I don't care what anybody's done to you. You have value. You have what it takes. Here's the second question that you got to ask and answer. Do I have the time? Here's what I hear from people. Oh, it's too late. Do I have the time? Can I actually pull this off? It's going to take a long time. I'm in debt, Ken. I've got 100,000 plus in debt. I'm 35 years of age. I'm 45. I'm 26. I hear this from 24-year-olds. I don't know if I got enough time. Based on what? Based on your initial vision for your life and expectations? Or based on the fact that you do have time? If life plays out and your health stands and you don't go to an early death, I mean, of course, nobody knows that. Do you have time to pull it off? Can you pay off your debt in 3 years and then get qualified in 4 more years? Hey, that's 7 years. Do you have time? Yeah, you do. Who knows? Who says it's going to take 7 years? Everybody assumes, unless you've been listening to this show on a regular basis, that you got to get a 4-year degree to make a switch. Well, that's not always true. In fact, it's rarely true. Took me, folks, 7 years to get to Ramsey Solutions, 3 more years of paying my dues, and then I stepped into the dream job. I'm not saying it's going to be 10 years for you, but it's 10 years for me. Did I have the time? Yeah. Did I feel as though I didn't have the time at 33 and 34 when I realized it was time to make a pivot? No, I didn't think I had the time. But guess what? I had the time. So don't assume that you don't have the time. Ask the question. And the reason I'm presenting these two questions to you folks today is because it requires that you do the homework, the research, the consideration, the fact-finding necessary to answer the question, as opposed to immediately filling in the blank with a yes or a no. And most people, sadly, when they ask the question, do I have what it takes? They say no. It's based on a false narrative, not facts. Sadly, when they ask the question, do I have the time? They say no. And it's based on a false narrative, not the facts. So answer those questions. And in the discovery and the digging, you'll find that it is possible. I'm reminded of an old phrase. I don't know who said it. I don't know who it's attributed to, but I didn't say it, but I'm going to share it. Where there is a will, there is a way. And you must come to the conclusion that I believe about you, that you were created to fill a unique role. You are needed. You must do it. And there's a way to do it. I'm not going to stop ringing the bell to say that those of you who get up on Monday miserable and you think that the rest of your working life, where you will spend the majority of your time, by the way, is just resigned to an okay job or a miserable job that just provides for you. That is not your destiny unless you accept that and choose that. 844-747-2577 is the phone number to jump in. 844-747-2577. Don't forget, coming up later in the show, we love to have some fun where we do some Friday work fails. And for those of you watching on YouTube, you'll get to see the visuals where somebody just mailed it in or was a little extra snarky, and we like to have some fun. So that's coming up as well. And then a super exciting story in our In the News segment about redemption and restoration in the form of companies finally giving convicted felons a chance to start over. And I couldn't be more excited about this news as well. So it's going to be jam-packed. Let's get to it. Let's go to the phones. Manchester, New Hampshire is where we start. Kyle joins us there. Kyle, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. How's it going? Thanks for taking my call.
Well, you bet, man. I'm living the dream. What are you doing?
Trying to get there.
Come on.
So first I just want to say, because I think it'll help with my question, my wife and I have no kids and none on the way, and we're in baby step 3, but we are barely getting by, so we don't have enough income to actually complete it efficiently. But I'm calling in to have you either crush my dream like everyone other than my wife has done, so I can just move on, or help me believe that it's actually possible.
Okay. Tell me what the dream is.
I would love to be a coach and consultant.
Okay. Coaching who? Consulting who?
Coaching, leadership, and in general, helping other people reach their full potential, and consulting companies to become more effective and efficient through systems and procedures or software integration, things like that.
Okay. So those are two different tracks, not necessarily a bad thing, but if you could only choose one of those tracks, coaching individuals to reach their full potential, which sounds a little Ken Coleman Showish, yes?
Yes, and
hold on, let me stay with me. Versus consulting companies and helping them with improvement. You got really specific on that path. If you could only choose one of those, and I'm not making you choose, but if you could only choose one, which one would you choose? Come on, you already answered
coaching. Yeah, I would love to do coaching, but I've been working at it for like a year, and that's kind of why I'm defeated.
Okay, got it. So you've been trying to coach people, career coaching, life coaching, health coaching, what?
Kind of all of the above, and I think that's half the problem.
I do think that's the problem. Do you have a clear methodology by which if I put you on the spot, and I'm not going to because it's not necessary, but could you give 60 seconds to 2 minutes on your philosophy and methodology? Clearly, like, could you clearly rattle it off? It's okay if you can. I just want to know.
I have a process for my coaching, but
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I think the answer is no, and I think that you've got to get more specific. So let me give an example. You've been listening to my show for how long?
10 years.
No, I haven't. I haven't been doing it 10 years, but I do appreciate the thought. The point is that I didn't have the 7 stages 4 years ago. You know this.
Yeah.
I developed that as I started coaching people on a very specific area. Hey, I started off the show, and what I did know 4.5 years ago was I'm going to help you discover what you were born to do. In your professional purpose, I'm going to help you see relational purpose, spiritual purpose, everything. Okay, so that was clear right out of the gate. And so I coach people, and then as I racked up 500 calls and 1,000 calls and 1,500 calls and then 2,000 calls, over time, I've delineated that even deeper and deeper and deeper. And now, without a doubt, I know what the 7 stages are to the point of writing a book about it, and it is the methodology of the Ken Coleman Show. The 7 stages are the methodology. Get clear, then get qualified, get connected while you're getting qualified. Then you're going to get opportunities to get started. And once you're in, now it's about stage 5, get promoted. And eventually you'll get promoted, walk your way up into the dream job, stage 6. And then simultaneously you're in stage 7 because the view changes. You're not looking up anymore, you're looking out. And you expand the dream, and now the income that you want, need, desire is there. And really you're coming in not because you even need the paycheck or want the paycheck. The paycheck is nice, but it's all about the impact and about purpose. Now, I could say that without looking at a script. You know why I can say that quickly and run through it that quickly, Kyle?
Because you've been doing it a long time.
I've been doing it a while, and I've been thinking about it and developing it. And so now it's second nature. And so that's the methodology, how I help someone discover and do purpose. The philosophy is how I open the show every day. I say it every show without a script. You were created to fill a unique role in your work. You are needed. You must do it. That's my philosophy. Do you understand?
Yep.
So here's my point. It took me some time to develop that, but it wasn't just a function of time. It was a function of disciplined diligence to keep honing in the message. You need to spend time on that, simultaneously coaching as many people as you can. And if you aren't getting many coaching clients, you may need to help yourself by doing some free coaching and turning some people's light bulbs on, getting better at what you want to do by doing it pretty sucky. Mm-hmm. You got to embrace the suck, by the way. You remember the first time you learned to ride a bike?
Yep.
You weren't very good at it, were you?
No.
But now you are. So I think that's the thing on the side, and I think you've got to grow this business by coaching, and you've got to put yourself out there and face rejection a little bit more probably than you have. I know you've been discouraged, but I think the more you face rejection, the more you embrace the suck and coach, then you're going to get better at it. So that leads me to the problem that you started off with, which I want to address very quickly.
Yeah.
You're in baby step 3, which if you're new to Ramsey Solutions, those are our 7 baby steps to get out of debt and live and give like no one else. So step 1 is you put $1,000 in the bank for an emergency. Step 2 is you pay off your debt, smallest to largest. Step 3 is you put 3 to 6 months of your living expenses in the bank. You are trying to complete that, but you're saying you're barely making ends meet. So it's not debt, and it doesn't sound like it's an expense problem because you have lived gazelle intense to get there. Sounds like you need to make more money. Am I right?
Correct.
So,
And,
brother, go make some more money right now so that you aren't as stressed out and just trying to keep your nose above water, and then build the coaching business on the side.
Okay.
But you're chasing 2 rabbits, and I think it's more in your mind than anything. I think if you want to build a coaching business, then you need to be doing more coaching. You're going to do that on the side. But right now, you're going to go get a better day job or maybe something in your sweet spot. That's not the dream, but that you can make more money, brother, because that's step 1. And you know how to manage your money. The problem is you don't have enough revenue coming in. You need to increase your income and not put all this pressure on you to grow this coaching business. That coaching business needs to grow over time, and eventually you step into that full time. So that's my advice to you on that. You're there. You know what to do. You're just not doing it, and you need to do it. And so better day job, more money, relieve the tension on the money stuff, get the emergency fund built out, start saving 15% in baby step 4. That's all great. Now, you need to stop dreaming and scheming about, well, I want this business and this business. I want to consult with it. No, you need to develop a methodology. You need to figure out, who do I most want to coach? Do I want to coach people who have weight problems and physical problems due to poor nutrition and exercise? Then go get good at that. If that develops into some life coaching, great. But if you want to coach people in the area that I'm in, then go do that and build that. But folks, this is advice for everybody, not just Kyle. When you've got a passion like that is a eventual self-owned business, self-proprietorship, all that sole proprietorship, you got to build that on the side. And a coaching business, by the way, you do that one at a time. You don't just go open up a shop and people walk in and go, yes, I'd like to get coached, please, for $19.99. You got a special on that? Like, this isn't pizza, folks. Like, this is you got to dive deep and you got to build. And so that is a side hustle only. Don't put all this financial pressure on a gig like that. That takes time. I mean, we're building a house. That's one brick at a time, one cinder block at a time. That's the key to winning on that kind of stuff. 844-747-2577. Now we go to Evansville, Indiana. Amber's there. Amber, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet, Amber. What's up?
So I am in a job that I love. I love the work I do, love the people I'm with. And I've been with the company about 5 years. I have unfortunately gone a couple years without a raise. And I've taken on more responsibilities. I work in multiple departments. I'm at a position now where my next step would be running my own store. I've had the conversations with my boss about, the extra work I'm taking on and responsibilities and my goals for moving up. I'm not getting anywhere with getting that raise. I'm just wondering what the next steps would be. What conversations can I have to get a raise that I feel I've earned?
Yeah, well, sounds like you're having the right conversations. I guess what I'm curious to know is 2 things. One, do you know if the company does a pretty standard annual raise, like based on annual reviews? Are they giving people annual bumps, or is it just very spotty? That's my first question, and I'll ask you one more and let you answer both. And then the second question is, what is your leader saying when you have these conversations about a raise? What's the feedback? So answer both of those for me.
So the annual raise is kind of spotty. We do like an annual cost of living thing that all employees get. It's, a few cents here and there. But as far as like a yearly talent review raise, we don't really get anything like that.
Okay. All right. So what's the feedback from your leader when you've had these, it sounds like multiple conversations?
I have. He's not super proactive with that. And I'm not getting a whole lot of feedback. It's kind of, well, you're doing the job. Yeah, you do a great job. But I'm not sure why you're not getting a raise.
What?
And
Wait. That's what is it a he?
It is, yeah.
Oh, gosh. So he goes, I don't know why you're not getting a raise, as though there's some like mystery. Like, is he not involved in saying that? Is first of all, let me ask you this. Is he the one that approves it or not? Sounds like he's not.
He would initiate it.
He would
and
initiate it.
Yeah, he would put it in the request that, this person's earned it.
Okay, so has he put in the request after these multiple conversations?
He has not.
Okay, now what does that tell you? He says things like, I don't know why you're not getting a raise. Hey, bonehead, it sounds like you have to put in the official paperwork to get me a raise. That's what I want to say to him. So what does that say to you about this guy and his initiative, his view of you? What does that say to you?
He does not care about his employees all that much.
He doesn't give a freaking crap about you.
Right.
All right. Now, I only have one other question, and I'm going to tell you what I think. Have you also, I assume if you were to get a managerial position of a store, which you're not currently in, but if you were to get that in and of itself would come with a raise, yes?
Correct. Yeah.
And when you bring that up to him, he's the same doorstop on that too.
He is supportive of me taking on more responsibilities within the store and doing more work.
But what I'm saying is he is the one that must approve you becoming a manager in the store. Yes
he
or no?
would not know it. No, he would not know.
But does it have to go through him too, where you can't go around him? That would be seen as, bad move. You going above him to the decision maker.
There is someone above him who would decide on the promotion.
But you didn't hear me, or you didn't answer me. Yes, I know there's someone above him. Is it bad politics? Is it seen as inappropriate? I think it might be. We don't do that here. Everything needs to go to your immediate leader here at Ramsey Solutions. So is there a way to end around it or not? I don't think there is. Would it be frowned upon or what? What's going on there?
I think it could cause maybe some issues.
That's what I thought. So Amber,
yeah.
Amber, it's time to leave. Now, don't leave today. I want you to leave as soon as you have something else to step into. I don't prescribe jumping off of a cliff and leaving today unless financially you have the cushion to be able to do so, and it is not risky at all financially.
Okay.
It's time to look. This guy is a lid. He is a lid for you, and it doesn't seem like there's any way we're going to get around it. So why do we keep doing it? It's the definition of insanity. At some point, you're going to bang your head against the wall enough to where you're concussed. If you're not already there, emotionally and mentally concussed. Right?
Right, yeah.
Am I wrong here? Why'd you call?
I'm getting to that point, yeah.
You called me. You said, what's my next step? Your next step is to look for something else. It's time to say, deuces, I'm out. That's what it's time for. This is a horrible leader.
I agree, yeah.
By the way, just note to my producer, Alex, this is exactly, this right here is exactly why I want to do this new content. Just a little private note. Everybody's going, what's he talking about? I'm going to start talking about leadership stuff more and more on this show because I'm hearing about it every day from you folks. This is a leadership problem, Amber, and it's not going to get any better. So it's time to look elsewhere. So take your, don't get proper perspective. What do you want to do? Where can you do it? Go look for it. You're qualified. You're ready. You don't trash this guy. When you start interviewing, you just go, I'm looking for an opportunity to grow. I hear great things. And you're looking for a management position because you're qualified today. Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, then. Act that way. Act that way. Act that way. That's my advice here. Look, folks, if you're qualified because you've got the experience and you've got the skill, then act that way. Well, I've never been a manager before. I got news for you. Nobody was ever a manager before. At some point, every leader who steps into a leadership position, at some point, it's the first time. So, welcome to the dance. Joe remembers this. Joe's in Gainesville, Georgia, where he and I met when I first started radio on Saturday. So I get to Ramsey Solutions. I pay my dues for 3 years. Dave and the leadership say, hey, we want you to move from your host role into a personality role with your content. And so we want you to start developing it, and then we'll figure out a transition plan to replace you. So I'm about 2 months into that, right? Like I'm doing my hosting stuff, but every waking second of the day, I'm beginning to develop and do a deep dive on the methodology and the philosophy that you hear every day. And I'm studying, I'm beginning to take my mind and prepare, what do I want the show to be like? What am I going to do? All the things. I get a phone call one day from one of our leaders, Jeremy Breland. He goes, hey man, you sitting down? I go, no. He goes, maybe you should. I go, whoa, where's this going? He goes, it's all good, but don't get too excited because it's not a done deal. I go, great. What is it? He goes, we're about ready to launch a Ramsey Solutions channel on SiriusXM. National platform. I said, okay, tell me more. He goes, yeah. And we're talking to them. Not only all the personalities, and their podcast will be on during the week, but we're talking about you having a daily show that leads into Dave. I'm sorry, say that again. He says it again. Okay. All right, well, let me know. It's not a done deal. No. A week later, it's happening in a month and a half. I called Joe. Hey, man, so I'm going to have a national show daily leading into Dave Ramsey, and I need somebody to actually make this show happen. You interested in coming to Nash Vegas? He was like, when do you want me there?
My bags are already packed.
And I mean, Joe, but that's how quick it happened. You and I didn't have time to sit there and make it perfect. It was the first time I had done a show like that. Coaching people on the air. Can I just tell you all, this isn't false humility. It sucked compared to what it is today. Why? Because I was learning to ride a bike. It was wobbly. I wrecked it a few times. I know that I help callers a little bit, but not as good as I help them today. Why? Because I hadn't done it before. So if you're going, Ken, I want to lead, I've never led before, it's going to be okay. Embrace the suck, care about people, serve people, and you're going to be fine. Just like we learned to ride a bike, we can learn to lead. And so I just know there's so many people in our audience that are so scared of the next step because of that unknown, and I get it. But please don't be like those cold and timid souls that Teddy Roosevelt talked about. That get to the end of their life and they look back and they regret because they didn't take the opportunities. And the reason they didn't take the opportunities presented to them is because the fear of the unknown paralyzed them. Here's what I know about the human condition. Many of us would rather be miserable than uncomfortable. It's pretty heavy. We know what we're miserable with and because of, and we fight our way through it. And we're okay being miserable because I know what to expect on Monday morning. I know my boss is going to be a total pinhead and treat me like I'm a piece of crap, but I kind of expect it. I've put up with it, and I know I'm going to get a paycheck in 2 weeks. Come on. I'm just telling you. Hey, I know my coworkers are gossiping jerks who look for every opportunity to take advantage of me and yada, 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 yada. But I know that the paycheck is going to cover my basics and my kid's going to keep playing soccer and I get to play golf on Saturdays. And it covers all the alcohol I have to drink on Fridays just to try to dull the pain of Monday through Friday. This is real, folks. Because we're okay with the misery because we know what to expect. But with the stepping out and being who we were created to be and going through getting clear and getting qualified and getting connected and then getting started and then getting promoted, that's like, Ken, I know it's the clear path and I know it makes sense, but golly, that's going to be really, really hard and it's got all these unknowns and I don't know how much time it's going to take. I don't know how much it's going to cost and I don't know if I'm going to get rejected and I don't know if I'm going to fail. I got news for you. You're going to get rejected. You're going to fail. It's going to probably take more time than you thought, and it's probably going to cost more than you thought. But here's the reality. You can get the answers. You can put a plan together, and you will get there. And I'm going to tell you on the other side of that, the significance you experience in your daily life, weekly life, monthly life, yearly life, and at the end of your journey, that you made the contribution you were created to make. Can I just tell you, it's worth it all. And I would rather be uncomfortable for the opportunity to be valuable than I would be miserable and miss out on the opportunity to be valuable and make a contribution in the lives of others. And you know it too. You know it. So I'll transition into, that's why I wrote the book, if you're new to the show, From Paycheck to Purpose. It's a deep dive on the 7 stages. It's available for pre-order right now. We have over $100 of amazing goodies. You can also get the Get Clear Career Assessment that will walk you through in 20 minutes or less deep questions. And if you answer them honestly and authentically, it's going to help you see what you do best, talent, what you love to do, passion, and what results you want to create. Your mission fills out a purpose statement and gives you a grid, a filter, a compass by which to point you in the direction. And then you begin the stages. Get qualified, get connected, get started, get promoted, get the dream job, give yourself away. So go get it right now, kencoleman.com. We've got an amazing bundle, all kinds of goodies. All right, quick break. When we come back, we're going to get to our In the News segment. We're going to have some fun with our Friday work fails. Don't move. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
Our world is changing, but so are we. Now, we see a smile through someone's eyes. We conquer our struggles and cherish each moment because we're shielded through faith and assured by hope. And greatest of all, we love. The world is different, but so are we.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show, where we help you move from paycheck to purpose. One of the ways we do that is we create resources that are free for you at kencoleman.com. Of course, we've got paid resources like the assessment, the Get Clear Career Assessment, and the book, From Paycheck to Purpose, the Proximity Principle, all of that. But I also am partnering with organizations like Bethel Tech, right, that can help you get qualified and get hired in an awesome field like technology. And also ZipRecruiter. And ZipRecruiter is, again, an amazing tool that you need to have in your tool belt. So many people are considering moving in this year. And so ZipRecruiter.com/Ken is where you need to go. Here's why. In a matter of minutes, you sign up a profile, you click go, they begin pitching you, promoting you to companies that have positions that you're a match for. Not only do they pitch you and promote you, they update you. Many of you don't even try. You're so sick of the hiring process because it's discouraging. It's full of rejection in the form of either no's or crickets. ZipRecruiter is the solution. They give you updates when your profile gets looked at, when it gets liked, and when a company asks for your contact information, and they can contact you directly. And the best part of all of that amazing service is it's free. You're not paying for anything. You're the talent that ZipRecruiter's looking for. So go to ZipRecruiter.com/Ken today. It's the easiest way to get hired. All right. This is probably one of the most exciting news stories that I've shared on this show in a very long time. Let's get to it. It's time for In the News. All right. Headline out of Yahoo. Once shunned, people convicted of felonies find more employers open to hiring them. I got a little dusty-eyed when I read this because I have long felt that what we do really poorly in society is restore. We'll forgive people, but we're not so good at restoring people. That's what I think. And when a felon or anybody with something on their record has paid their time, their debt to society through prison time, fines, whatever, and they have done what the law says they are required to do, then we need to actively look for opportunities, healthy opportunities, and I'll get to that in a minute, to restore them. So here's where we are. From this Yahoo News article, a growing number of companies are beginning to tap into a huge, largely ignored labor pool. The roughly 20 million Americans, mostly men, and many unemployed who have felony convictions. Researchers have found that with each successive year, that formerly incarcerated people remain free without committing another crime, the likelihood of their returning to criminal activity declines. And after 5 to 10 years, that person has no higher probability of committing an offense than somebody with no record. So the data bears out that there are people who keep their nose clean when they get out. And when they do, there is data that says they don't fall back into that pattern. Harley Blakeman is the chief executive of a company entitled Honest Jobs, an Ohio-based company that matches employers with people with criminal records. And he said in the last few months, 7 Fortune 500 companies have signed on as partners. And I'm not going to list those companies, but this is a really good trend. And interestingly enough, just yesterday as I was co-hosting the Ramsey show with Dave Ramsey, we got a call from a guy who had 2 misdemeanors on his record from one time, and it was a domestic violence situation, and his girlfriend cheated on him, and I don't know what he did. We didn't make him unpack it, and I can just tell you right now, that is not cool. Any dude who strikes a woman needs to be publicly flogged and beaten himself. That's my position on that. Okay? However, he paid his time. He has seen counseling, this particular guy. He has gotten counseling, and a counselor could speak to, there's been no other issues on this. And this guy is having a hard time getting hired. And it's understandable. He went on to tell us that, in his case, people are finding out about it in the background check. And so I immediately said, there's the first problem. You don't need to wait for an employer or a potential employer, because, by the way, they all offered him jobs, and in the background check is when they rescinded the offer. So you know what he needs to do? Number one, he's got to own it. He goes in a job interview, he gets in the second one or the first face-to-face, goes really well. At the end, he needs to go, hey, I need to tell you about something. I need to tell you about this chapter in my life. I need to tell you what happened. And I've got my file right here. Bring it in. Here's exactly what the law said I did, and I have paid my debt to society, and now above and beyond that, I want to show you my file with my counselor. Here's how many sessions I've done. Here's what my focus has been. Here's a letter from her or him. They're willing to talk to you. Folks, you got to own this. And then you got to go another step further and use my proximity principle and go find some connections in that company XYZ or ABC that know you and can vouch for you. And I will still tell you that that won't be enough sometimes. That's just a fact. Sometimes that won't be enough, and he shared that he had done one of those things. But it doesn't mean that you don't have a future. And for those leaders that listen to me, and I know there are leaders listening to me, can I just appeal to your heart for a second and ask you what dumb, boneheaded things that you've done that if a cop was around, maybe you would have a misdemeanor? Or even if you didn't get a misdemeanor or a felony, it would be a pretty nasty stain on you, and you might get fired over it. And I would ask you, have you become a different person after that embarrassing or potentially illegal act that you didn't get caught doing? Now, the one caveat is this, and it's surfaced in the story. One woman had gone to jail for fraud, financial fraud, and she went to hire for a job from this company that tried to place her, and she applied for a job that was handling money. And he was like, not a good idea, but we'll put you over here in an administrative role where you're not handling money. So I want to, for all the critics out there, because, you know, everybody's got a criticism about something. Obviously, we've got to be smart and put people in a position where they're not tempted. All right. So if I got a guy who's known for stealing cakes and bread from a bakery, I'm not going to get him a bakery job. It's just a temptation. It's not necessary. Right. I know that when I'm trying to trim up, Joe, I don't need to be around chips and salsa. So what do I got? I got to avoid any place where there's chips and salsa, because I'm done. I have zero willpower when a chip and queso or salsa is around me. Zero willpower. So I don't put myself in that position. We understand that. So there you go. All right, let's have some fun on this Friday. We'll see what we've got here. It's time for Work Fails. This is hysterical. I didn't even know that today's theme was office food thieves. I just made that up. I should look at my production notes. So this is funny. Has someone ever stolen your sandwich in the fridge at work? These people feel your pain. So these are from the internet where people have posted stories. So here's the first one. Apparently, Debbie, the food thief, was so bad at it, the rest of the team had to send her a message. And so this is a work fridge. And you can see here that they kind of got together and said, this is the theme. We're all going to write a sign, not Debbie's, on our food. Now, here's what we don't know. I wonder if Debbie got the message. That's a pretty powerful message right there and very creative. Hey, Debbie, we know you steal our food, so we're going to put not Debbie's on there. All right, so here's the question for the control room, really quick. This, to me, rises to the level of a leadership issue. If Debbie keeps stealing everybody's food, I appreciate that these people put the signs on there and hopefully it took care. But at what point does a leader not pull Debbie in and go, hey, Debbie, seriously, this is a real problem. Like, this isn't cute. I'm going to fire you if you keep stealing people's food. All right. You guys agree with me on that?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. All right. Here's the second one. Let's throw this one up, Connor. This guy's Red Bull grew wings and flew away. So someone got crafty in trying to cover it up. Wow. The Red Bull that they stole, they decided to put in a fake, it's like a paper mache Red Bull can. I don't see what's being accomplished here. To me, it's calling more attention that the Red Bull has been stolen. So that's a fail. Wow. Next, if you're going to try to protect your food by leaving your name on it, make sure no one else has your same name. Is your name Dave? Yes, my name is Dave. Thanks for the free drink. Dave's for hire. So now this is a smart ass.
For life.
Now that's the jerk. You know what I mean? That's like, come on, man. This guy really doesn't want his green tea being taken. And so another Dave went, oh, I'll steal one just because I'm that clever. Number 4 here, let's see, is this person wanted to remind you that Jesus, oh boy, this is the Jesus juke. This is the, we're going to play the Bible here. Jesus is watching you. We've got a fake Jesus winking, pointing thumbs up. Wow. Even John 7:37 there. So that's interesting. Oh, that is the response. Oh, I see. So someone tried to guilt, don't be taking my Diet Cokes. And someone went, well, Jesus said in a loud voice, if anyone is thirsty, let him come to me and drink. So I like that. That's a nice return of serve. Okay, very good. That, by the way, is not a work fail. That's some proper snark right there. Okay, next. This seems to be a strange new trend in the office. People putting names on food in the company fridge. Today, I had a tuna sandwich named Kevin. Oh, that's good. I like that. Oh, man. Today, I had a tuna sandwich named Kevin. That's good. I like that. Finally, food starts to go missing in the fridge. Not sure if Post-it notes are going to help you find the culprit. My Trader Joe's green juice grew legs and walked off. Why? Please stop stealing my Phage 0% yogurt. This is like the 8th time. Please stop eating my hot dogs. Please put new food in fridge. Getting bored of the same old stuff. Wow. So these are people that have no conscience at all. It's like, I'm going to steal it, and I'm also going to be sarcastic when I do it. So I've got a solve here. We're having some fun, but I want to give a solution. You're going to have to, if this keeps happening and we're seeing a pattern where the thieves are almost emboldened by it, I think you got to bring a cooler. I'm dragging the cooler in. It's sitting next to my desk, under the desk. It's only 3 hours. It'll stay cool. I think that's the solve. I think the company fridge is probably not the way to go.
But first, I would do a little sabotage and, leave a little Kevin sandwich for someone.
I see where you're going.
A little pimento cheese or something. Oh.
You mean actually put in like 4-day-old tuna?
Oh, yeah.
So Joe wants to go, you want to go the nuclear option with some food poisoning.
Yes.
I tell you, I don't know that I want to give somebody food poisoning, but I respect your game, Joe. But I tell you what I would do. I'd drop in some crazy hot cayenne pepper sauce or something so that we're not going to hospitalize them, but we're really going to make them uncomfortable.
I like it.
That's a great solution, Joe. So what you do is, we want to equip people. If you're dealing with work refrigerator raiders, pirates, get back at them with some unbelievably hot, like death ghost sauce. Something on like a sandwich they think they're stealing and they just can't even feel their tongue for 4 days. I like that approach. And then I think you bring your own cooler. I like that. That's see, folks, we're equipping people in ways we never dreamed we would equip. But this is what you're facing at work. Pirates of the office fridge. That should be a segment. Unbelievable. Good stuff, team. Hey, I got to get out of here. But before I do, remember this. You matter and you do have what it takes. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.